Well, good morning. The official day for President Trump started about 4 hours ago with something called a bilateral breakfast where he met briefly with the NATO Secretary General, Jens Stoltenberg. Here's how it played out.
I think it's very sad when Germany makes a massive oil and gas deal with Russia, where you're supposed to be guarding against Russia, and Germany goes out and pays billions and billions of dollars a year to Russia. So we're protecting Germany, we're protecting France, we're protecting all of these countries, and then numerous of the countries go out and make a pipeline deal with Russia where they're paying billions of dollars into the coffers of Russia. So we're supposed to protect you against Russia, but they're paying billions of dollars to Russia, and I think that's very inappropriate. And the former chancellor of Germany is the head of the pipeline company that's supplying the gas. Ultimately, Germany will have almost 70% of their country controlled by Russia with natural gas. So you tell me, is that appropriate? I mean, I've been complaining about this from the time I got in. It should have never been allowed to have happened. But Germany is totally controlled by Russia because they were getting from 60 to 70% of their energy from Russia and a new pipeline. And you tell me if that's appropriate, because I think it's not.
Well, that was the immediate opening at the NATO summit today, with the president meeting with the Secretary General there. The Guardian out of the UK reports that NATO officials have been nervously awaiting this meeting as an indicator of how Trump, who arrived in Brussels on Tuesday night, would behave over the next 2 days. And within minutes, they had their answer. This, we go to Sam first in Coconut Creek Beach, Florida, Democrat line. Hello, Sam.
Yes, hi. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam. What is America's role in the world?
It obviously doesn't seem to be a very good role anymore. This man, I woke up early and saw this meeting that he had, yelling at all these people from Europe. I just don't understand why they just didn't walk out on him, because he thinks this is his money. It's not his money, okay? He's ruining our country. There's many other things, and too numerous to mention. So that's my comment. He's an embarrassment to this country and to the world.
Caller, what do you make of the president's continued contention that many of the NATO countries aren't coming up with the 2% they all agreed to on defense spending to be part of the group there?
He doesn't seem to understand that they contribute in many other ways. They pay for their militaries and everything. This man doesn't know anything, and neither does most of his cabinet. So this man must go. So that's all I have to say. Thank you for C-SPAN.
All right, Sam, on to Bob now in Duluth, Minnesota, another Democrat. Bob, what do you think the role of America is and should be in the world?
Well, I think America should take a role in leading NATO, and NATO is paramount to the free world to get along. And
so Bob, what's the definition of leading the world? What does that look like?
Well, if you're going to lead the world, what you're going to have to do is set an example, and right now Trump isn't setting that kind of an example. What he's doing is he's trying to dismantle NATO, and if you want to know what Putin would really like to see, that would be it.
Thank you, Bob. We'll have continuing coverage of the president's visit to the NATO meeting today, tomorrow, then coverage as he visits the UK, and then on to Finland early next week, where he's going to meet with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Washington Times front page sets this all up by saying in its headline, Trump meets few U.S. friends, many critics at the NATO summit. They said he got a chilly reception Tuesday when he got there from anxious and angry European leaders, but he still can count on a few friendly faces in the old military alliance. European Council President Donald Tusk set the scene by warning Mr. Trump that he is losing friends fast. Dear Americans, appreciate your allies, he said. After all, you don't have that many, said the former Polish Prime Minister in a rebuke of Mr. Trump's criticism of NATO. This Washington Times piece goes on to say that the UK, which with its eye on Brexit, is most likely to side with President Trump during this visit. That according to Michael Desch, director of Notre Dame's International Security Center. Quote, in terms of a government who's radically rethinking the nature of its commitments in Europe, the British are the closest to the Trump administration on those issues. They also write that Italy's new populist government lines up squarely with Mr. Trump on a range of issues. And he also looks toward members of NATO, including Poland, Romania, and the Baltic states, to count on them for support when leaders get down to business today.